What it do, world? It's your minds and them, the Toothless Wonder, back with another video on the Bamboozled Again News Network, where Negroes get bamboozled every day, B. But you down with the Most High, you be alright though. Yo, uh, didn't have a chance to watch, but New Breeder did a video about how's it titled? The vast majority of BWs practice some form of witchcraft, right? And again, I gotta go to my own experiences. Now it be like the Most High give me the prerequisite information and then place me in an environment or a situation where I see it, right? So I have been heard brothers talking about certain talking points, especially in reference to witchcraft. So I'm taking it and I'm like, oh, okay. But I don't know nothing, you know what I'm saying? I kind of walk an isolated path, not really around people like that, unless I'm on a job site, right? So I've talked about my experiences working at the U-ish ran rehab, right? Getting that joint, get the, woot the woot the woot, right? And as time would proceed on, I was literally blown away by how many women are active practitioners of witchcraft, yo. It blew me away. Mind you, in the I guess the literature or whatever you want to call it of AA, or whatever, you're not supposed to promote any kind of religion or practices. You're supposed to kind of help people find their own path with that, right? You know what I'm saying? But I was just, it was a head scratcher. Like, why is the Jewish man allowing? Now, granted, people got their personal life, but they were bringing these practices into work. I made employee of the month one time, right? So the outreach lady had inboxed me, or emailed me rather, said she want to speak to me, right? So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I had seen her in past moment, you know what I mean? Whatever, right? So I gets up in the joint, she get the crunk, I was on a bike. She was like, I didn't know you rode a bike to work and that's so diligent and da-da-da. Mind you, I live about 10, 15 minutes around the corner, but you know what I mean, whatever, right? So she get the crying, right? So, and everybody told me she do that. But as I looked past her to her bookshelf, she had a book with white letters on it on the bottom that said witchcraft. And I said, I said to myself, another one, yo? Here's what was crazy. Of the white women that practice witchcraft, if you didn't know it, they were some of the most warmest, gentlest, people to be around. But then I was blown away, cuz, by how many of the sisterhood was up in that joint practicing witchcraft, yo. I told y'all about in previous videos how I started dealing with the one shawty, right? Who ended up telling me, because I found all these people interesting. Granted, even when I was in the streets, like, okay, I know it's dangerous, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I'm oblivious. I don't even think I really care, yo. So I wasn't like fearful or anything like that. I was like more like amazed, inquisitive, like, how did y'all get to this point, yo? Like, what was the catalyst that pushed you to the left? So she was telling me that she was the one who introduced the tarot card flipping and whatever other practices you want to call it to the staff when she was a client. I was blown away by that. So again, in my, analytical mind, I'm like, yo, how do healthcare professionals take spiritual advice from a client who comes to them for help for getting off of drugs? So if this, whatever spiritual practice that I know to be witchcraft, are so powerful, how come they can't help you get off drugs? And not only that, you go to some people to help you get off drugs, and then you introduce them to witchcraft that obviously ain't working for you. I said, I was blown away, Jack. You know what I mean? But it, and then I used to want, and you know how brothers, in the red pill space talk about this, that, and the third, and woo the woot, the woot, the woot, right? And then because of my prerequisite information, mainly through YouTube, that I believe the Most High followed me to, because at that time I wasn't thinking about, look up witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was so crazy, because I was like, and then there was this, like, I guess, with, witchcraft come the Jezebel spirit, right? Wanting to harvest the souls of men, right? And then as I go up the ladder, right? And responsibility and so on and so forth, I come privy to understand that of all the women in the camp, 90% of them was splacking these dudes, right? And not just, one of them because he Willie Dynamite or something. They had multiple allegations of them messing with clients shortly after they got out of our care and custody. So I'm scratching my head again like, Granted, I mean, just because man on drugs or got an issue don't mean he ain't got no value or anything along those lines. But I'm like, yo, why is it so prevalent? I never even seen it this bad in Baltimore, right? And then it started coming together because with witchcraft, they're practicing these things for power and control. So I used to tell the homies, yo, you gonna have to do like the Raz Deshawn and take the heart away, yo. Yeah, you thinking you Willie Dynamite Jr. whatever, and yeah, I'm on drugs or I'm in here, but these staff members want me. They don't want you. They want your soul, yo. They know you don't have a leg to stand on more oftentimes than not. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to subvert your process for control purposes. But Negroes they be short-sighted with it, right? They be thinking, oh, I'm getting this staff member coochie, I'm the man, ego, da-da-da. yo, I got so many stories, I can't even remember them all, of just, staff members getting dudes drunk after they got out of rehab. You know what I mean? Staff members getting caught in high-speed chases. You know what I'm saying? And I used to tell them, like, yo, why don't you, you know what I'm saying, woo-woo. They don't want that. See, you as a a free-thinking, self-actualized black man, or any man for that matter, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of play because they perceive they can't control you. And I noticed this personally. And they'll try different little tactics or whatever the case may be. But once they perceive they can't control you, or you're not necessarily just smitten by their whims, they actually grow a disdain for you, yo. Mind you, from what I understand, the vast majority at my old people job, they hate my guts, right? But can't none of them tell you what I did for them to hate me, other than we can't use him. He has his own principles and standards. He's not easily influenced. I can't just bat my eyes and move him off the path, yo. But anybody else who's not as mentally, emotionally, or sexually disciplined, and I see so many of the homies falling prey, and somewhere in the story, either directly or indirectly, there's a woman who's probably, at the very least, covertly practicing witchcraft. These women are getting off on destroying dudes. It makes them, I don't know if it makes them think that, like, I'm some hellified woman because I can destroy dudes or get them off the path, or, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I got so many of them, yo. And with all this seeking of power control, they still ain't got it. With all this seeking or practicing of the ancient dark arts, all of them are still depressed and unfulfilled. You know what I mean? I had one staff member. She used to ask me like spiritual questions, you know what I'm saying? So I gave it to her from my, point of understanding. And the journey, it's not going to be easy, yo. She done messed with like 3,000, not 3,000, but she done messed with like 3 different dudes, got married to one of them, and he on drugs currently. And they're a shell of them former selves. I don't know nobody that I previously worked with, for the most part, who was engaged in those practices, and they're actually changing form. Like, they don't even look the same. Their countenance is different. Yo, this is wild, Jack. This is wild. Like I said about the shawty I was dealing with, and I mean, she told me certain stuff, but then we used to have these conversations because she would, like, she knew about Hebrew stuff. She knew stuff like the average person don't know. So I'm like, well, what moved you to that? And woo 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 woo. So she seemed to, and I saw, one time we cast a little crystals and whatnot in the ocean and all that crap. But I truly believe, and I told her, this is like leaving a gang, yo. You don't get to walk away scot-free. Them demons gonna come after you, yo. So just be prepared for that. And I truly believe, and then she had relapsed, and then she started having all this death around her. So I backed all the way up. But I truly believe they came after her because they couldn't get her to get to me. You know what I'm saying? So they had to punish her, yo. Yo, it's wild, Jack. The staff member I was talking about who got fired during the time the first time I was there, because they caught her on camera taking main man, kissing on him. I had another dude when I was at the Y. He told me the same staff member was in that joint grabbing dudes' meat, yo. And I'm blown away. Again, I understand women aren't necessarily logical, right? But I'm like, why would you come to work to get the attention of men whose lives have become unmanageable. So that should let you know he might have some attraction or whatever, right? But that should let you know if I get with him, it's probably not gonna go right. Man, they was getting extorted. You know what I'm saying? They telling on it. I've seen them throw each other the bus for clients. You know, I'm like, yo, where's them at, yo? And the crazy thing about it, because they used to have these moon ritual ceremonies, right? So I told the one dude, I said, man, don't go down there, cuz. You know that ain't for us, right? He was just going to get out of the regular NAAA group, right? So I said, okay, your choice, right? So I think it was one of them, what they call that joint? Despacio, something. I'm like, that don't even sound good. Like, if you ask a little kid about Despacio, you're like, whoa, what's that? That sounds scary, you know what I mean? So they had one of these ceremonies with some rice and beans or something. And then you write some stuff you want to let go of and you cast in the fire, right? So my mind say, he do the whole little ritual joint. He said when he cast the stuff, his letter into the fire, he said, Cal, man, I start feeling crazy, yo. Like I said, I seen a dude literally in that joint get possessed out of nowhere, yo. Within 48 hours of them having one of them moon ritual ceremonies. Then come to discover, because the witchcraft woman, the tarot card flipper, she was paying for it out of her own pocket. Now the Jewish man paying for it. He want these people sold for recidivism. Yo, the same woman I'm talking about, right? I'm fumbling around on Facebook, and she just celebrated her 30th birthday, right? And I'm tripping to myself, right? So I'm seeing the pictures of, you know what I'm saying? Well, we not friends, but if they tag somebody that you know of, you'll see it, right? They had her 30th birthday party in all black in like some barn with black balloons, and it looked like a funeral. It looked like a witchcraft ceremony, yo. And everybody there support. I'm like, man, he got to be the credit. I know, yo. And then it wasn't even a 30th celebration. The way she had worded it or however it was presented, it was a death to her 20s. So instead of celebrating your 30, you're celebrating your 20s are dead. Oh boy, I don't even know if I'm doing this video any justice, yo. These joints is wild, Joe. And then my thing is more so the sisterhood. Like, I was blown up, like, it's like if you were to see this particular sister, like she, regular daggler, ain't nothing super spectacular about her or anything like that. And I'm like, yo, you practice witchcraft too? I said, why? And she was like, I have a spiritual, something, I forgot what she called it. And they sacrifice goods and I'm like, so with all this, how's it benefiting you though? Nobody can answer the question, yo. She run around getting splat by dudes and all that. And it's not like these dudes. And here's the tripping part, right? The main witchcraft woman, she can't cast a love spell. She can't get no salsa. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody else who's getting salsa, this is the tripping part. Y'all are healthcare professionals. Y'all getting splat by dudes who are just getting off of drugs and they see no value in you and they chucking you to the side. I know multiple dudes who have had multiple staff members and don't fool with none of them. They just getting whatever to get out of them or using them and rolling out, yo. So y'all are actually bad at the thing you practice. I thought you was like, if the more you practice something, the better you get at it. Not these John. They must be practicing the watered down kind. You know what I'm saying? But it's for power and control. Like even in my personal situation, or what we seen with Kamala, that was my understanding when I weighed it up on the scale of my mind. They're not fighting for anything else but the ideal and the perception of power and control. Even in my personal situation with the other counterpart, they feel like they're losing control. Even though all this control you got, you destroying and damaging you, yourself, and everybody around you. But you still want it, but can't handle it and don't know what to do with it. But refuse to give it up. That's why you notice like these people, they start get like they get more bitter. They got all these, you know what I'm saying, from all these soul ties that didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, true story, yo. They had one of these moons. Oh, this is when I first started working at. They had a moon ritual ceremony, right? So I'm talking to the other co-worker, who the main witchcraft woman ended up putting a play together for a client, for her best friend. But they was supposed to be cool at the time, right? Now they no longer talk. I think I told the story about, we were playing. She was like, I want to get with you. But I was like, if you want to get with me, you got to leave the witchcraft woman alone. She was like, no, that's my best friend. I'm like, based on what? To me, it looked like y'all trauma bonded over the fact y'all probably got did dirty by dudes in early recovery, which ended up being the case, right? Again, right? So I'm actually like, now me and the witchcraft woman, we were on opposite sides of the fence, right? So I would tell the brother not to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in there, politicking with the brother, like, yo, don't go that, yo, seriously, yo. I try to give him the information, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? So the witchcraft woman come down that joint, because it's time for that moon ritual group, right? And they don't really go for it. They just go to get out of the regular group, right? You know what I'm saying? I get it. So, yo, I tripped out, yo. So it was time for the group. And what she say? She said, come. Turned around, and literally her homegirl and the rest of the clients, and she walks down the hall and said, come. Yo, I was blown away. They literally formed behind her like geese flying through the air, you in a V. I said, hey, that's about a... She summons these folk, and they just got in lockstep, not the kid. You know me, I like, hey, come, where we going on? Nah, man, I'm gonna be a little late, yeah. Nah, I ain't no just come and I just yes. You know what I mean? Yo, this is wild, Jack. And I'm under the belief. And here's the thing. How do you practice something and it not work for you in evidence? You still don't have the power you want. You're still not fulfilled the way you want to be fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? You're still getting used up by dudes. You see what I'm saying? On a repeated basis. And here's the tripping part, all these, it's just, and then I be thinking too, because I know of homies who are dealing with these low-grade women. A lot of times these women be on drugs and they can't leave them alone. I'm wondering if these women cast a spell on these dudes. She on drugs out here, you know what I'm saying, selling the cooch or whatever, and you still chasing behind her and you still trying to get her to understand where you coming from. Got you looking terrible out here. I had one homeboy, he was so lost in the sauce, he didn't even have an ID. He couldn't even muster up nothing going for himself. And then as soon as he get it, he giving it to her. And then when he ain't got it, she in the next man's face. Boy, Rome, hell of a drug, boy. And I think that's why, like I'll say, make these statements on here about my spirit being like rejecting most stuff, especially pertaining to women, because probably unbeknownst to me spiritually, because I'm noticing my spirit be perceiving stuff my conscious mind ain't caught up to yet. I think that's what it is. The fact that these women behind closed doors are practicing witchcraft. And I see it spiritually. I just can't understand it intellectually until later on, and then it gets revealed to me. Babylon done destroyed us, kid. And I don't know nobody who can give me any positive reasoning for their practicing. Like the witchcraft woman told me one time, she was like, this helps keep me off of drugs. I said, the moon? You mean the moon stopped you from using drugs? What the moon say to you? You know what I'm saying? So I said, one time, and they do all like crystals and this, that, and the third, and whoop, the whoop, the whoop, right? So we had another, intellectual discussion, right, at the desk. So I said, you telling me these crystals got power, yo? She was like, yes. So I said, all right, look, well, let's put it to the test then. I'm going to call this new intake in here, right? You going to put some crystals right there, and I'm going to put $20 worth of crack and see which one he picked, yo. Let's see which one got the power, yo. I remember one time, I'm sitting at the desk, chopping it up or whatever, and then somebody to the right of me says, can you give this paper to client such and such? So I just say, yeah, but I don't really turn. Look, I'm going to just do, task, right? So I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I finished talking. I turn and look down at the paper. It was a booklet on the temple of Satan. I said, I'm not passing that to nobody. No, we ain't doing. Where'd that come from? Now, if I wanted to come in here with a baptism ceremony, they'd be like, nah, you can't do that, woo, woo, woo. But we can practice all this witchcraft again in the this would blow me away, but I understand it. In the Jewish ran rehab, that's in violation of all the rules you say you go by, but don't. Other than not working on Friday and Saturday, this world is truly, and here's the tripping part though, right? This is no longer, like a subculture or whatever. This is mainstream now. That's why these women were so, blaming black men and all that. When they say 78% of black men still voted for Kamala, they were voting for the idea of control and their ability to further enslave you mentally and spiritually. That's why they was lashing out. All their hopes and dreams were dashed. Now, I don't know if Trump will still get in there, but God darn, Joe. And all of them destroyed, yo. And here's the tripping part, right? Most of them got men, but still come to work and seek to harvest the souls of men, yo. And that ain't even working. The dudes is getting over on them. And the U.S. man is setting the atmosphere or allowing that atmosphere to be condoned for recidivism. It's no different than the medical field. If I cure you, I lose a patient. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking if I cure you, I'm not looking at, oh, darn, I'm losing a patient. Oh, that means I'm a hellified doctor. Yo, if you got a homeboy who's sick, yo, send him to me. You know what I'm saying? You heard about me. You know what I mean? They don't care nothing about that. That's why none of this crap work, yo. That's why I think in the recovery world, the numbers are low in general anyway. Because it takes you from one codependency to another on social, validation, and which is written of in NA literature or AA literature. You know what I'm saying? But they don't buy by none of that. Instead of being codependent on drugs, be codependent on this institution and the social what's the word I'm looking for? The social grouping of it. But when I was there and when I looked at them, these don't look like no people I want to hang around. You know what I'm saying? I see the competitive nature. I see the falsehood of these social groupings. You see what I'm saying? This, to me, from my eyeball, no, none of this look genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like the girl I was dealing with, she was a client there. She said she had a whole bunch of support as a client when she, got released and all that. Then the same people who were supporting her were hating on her when she started working there because now they view her as competition because she was kind of chugged back there, right? I said, see, told you. You know what I'm saying? So I felt the need to kind of coach him, you know what I'm saying? In empathy, while still not being bamboozled me myself. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of this stuff real, yo. The friendships ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Get a halfway decent mate. You know what I'm saying? Here's the one, right? For the witchcraft woman, right? So the shorty I was dealing with, she told me she had a sponsor, but she could never get in contact with her sponsor because her sponsor was always on a date with some dude in early recovery, right? Which was the main, that was the witchcraft woman's best friend, but I don't personally know her. So then she called and said, oh, me and my dude, woo. So she was like, oh, you got a boyfriend? Why didn't you tell me? I'll come see you right now, right? All these joints, it's just masquerading for their addiction to low quality sausage, yo. That's all they want. They don't know what to do with a man who got something going on that. And I realized something, yo, now that I think about it. Now, there weren't a whole lot of men who worked at this institution, which I found that to be odd, right? But of the men who worked in this institution that were masculine, they're no longer working there. They can't put up with it. And then they talk about them in demeaning terms. Like there was an African dude there. He come from African culture. You know what I mean? He was very, from my perspective, he was very diligent, job-wise, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? All the women hated him. But then we hire these fluky people or these half-buck-broken people, and they can't get far, but the client's not getting seen. They work when they feel like it. Half time ain't none of them people even in the building on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Nobody taking any initiative. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is wild, Joe. I'm glad I just had the knowledge to not get wrapped up in Charlotte Web. But unbeknownst to me, that's why I felt like they was trying to set me up. Or to get some dirt on me, so they sent my work daughter at me. But I got enough, sexual discipline, and I ain't look at her like that. I mean, she was attractive girl, but I don't look at you like that. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to be a work daddy and lead her in the right direction, feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I think they sent, which she ended up getting after I left again, they gave her my position. But I think because they come to discover, I knew a whole bunch of background stuff, and I was putting two and two together, well, maybe we can simmer him down if we get some dirt on him, so you be sexually suggestive towards him and then report him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, we ain't doing that. And them people hate my guts, yo, and I love it. I don't want them like me. Not them, no way. No. That's actually a good thing. It's good the witches don't like you, yo. That means you doing something right. You gotta figure, if a bunch of low-grade people speak highly of you, what that make you, yo? I don't know. I just came through with a quick one, man. Cover your six out here. Witchcraft is at an all-time high. And on that note, I'ma holler at y'all.